I'm Dr. Chowdhury, President and CEO of the Federation of State Medical Boards. Welcome to FSMB Spotlight, where we get to have conversations about healthcare, especially those that have a nexus to the state-based licensure and discipline of our nation's 900,000 physicians and 100,000 physician assistants. Our first guest, our very first interview, is Dr. Art Hengerer, the new chair of the FSMB. Art is an otorhinolaryngologist, head and neck surgeon from Rochester, New York, who is also the chair of the New York Board of Professional Medical Conduct. There are probably several dozen issues that are relevant to the state medical and osteopathic boards in the United States. As you embark on your term as chair of the FSMB, what are some of the things that you'd like to accomplish?
Well, certainly right now, one of the major things that are a problem in this country is the opioid prescribing issue. And so we've been very active in this, working with federal and state organization and structure to try and help make some traction to make physicians aware of the problem and how they can have an impact on this. We also recently just developed the guidelines for medical marijuana. As this keeps becoming more of a statewide issue, we want to be sure that physicians are aware of this. Then the other things that go on are, as I say, the burnout issue, which is becoming an increasing problem. Lots of physician suicide, but just the awareness as people read and hear about this problem. It's a public protection issue.
So Art, talk about that a little bit. The numbers are staggering, aren't they? More than 400 physicians a year are said to commit suicide in the United States. What do you ultimately hope to accomplish through the work group that you appointed to look at physician wellness and burnout?
So what we want to do is try and figure out mechanisms of stress that physicians are under and how we can have an impact to help them with this, but also make them aware of just their own wellness, because if they're not healthy and they're not well, they can't do a good job taking care of the wellness of their patients.
Well said. Good luck with that. One of the reasons we put this interview segment together was to better educate healthcare providers, state and federal agencies and officials, and the public about state licensing boards and what they do. Why is that so important today in 2016?
Well, healthcare keeps changing very rapidly, and with the Affordable Care Act and the need for physicians, there's an area of telehealth that's coming along, and state boards are very involved in licensure and discipline of physicians. And so we want to be involved and on the front line of that. And that also has led us to be involved in what's called the Interstate Medical License Compact. That was a concept that was started about 3 years ago by the FSMB with help from various state boards. And now there's a special interstate commission looking at this whole process, and they're bringing this forward. We now have 17 states where the governors have signed on to this. It doesn't prevent a physician from getting a license in any state he wants in the standard way. This just expedites it.
We actually have a graphic that I think nicely shows how quickly the compact has been embraced by state boards, state legislatures, and governors. Mind you, it was only put together about 2 years ago. The dark blue represents the states that have signed it into law. Light blue is where it's being considered by state legislatures this year. Pretty impressive. Art, we're out of time, but let me thank you for being our first guest and for supporting the launch of this new vehicle to help get the word out about issues of importance to state medical boards and the public. Best of luck to you in the months ahead.
Thank you, Hank, and we'll continue to work on all these efforts.
Thank you for joining us. Stay well and see you next time.